See, while we are going to determine the resultant along with its position by using the Varignon's theorem, we may come across two cases. Okay, case one is, see, in case one, the given force system will be a parallel force system. Okay, all the forces provided in the force system will be purely vertical, that is parallel force system. And the second case of force system that we may come across while solving problem by using Varignon theorem is the general force system. Note the difference between general force system and parallel force system is that in a parallel force system, all the forces, for example, let's say a beam is given, then all the forces will be vertical. That is, all the forces will be parallel to each other. And now when we are talking about general force system, then a beam may be given and some vertical forces might be given, may be there. Then some inclined forces may be there. Therefore, first, while going for determination of resultant, which is the first step, in any case, either if the problem is for case 1 or case 2, the first step in determination of resultant by using Varignon theorem is to determine the magnitude of the resultant, okay, and then position of the resultant. That is, whether it is going upward or downward or whether it is belonging to some specific quadrant. Then for that, when we are using the Varignon theorem application for determination of resultant, as in case 1, the resultant determination will be as simple as summation fx will always be 0 here, okay, and the value of resultant will be dependent on only summation fy. And when we are talking about the general force system where some vertical, some inclined forces are there, then we will have to determine summation fx, summation fy, then r, then theta and quadrant. Means recalling the problems of determination of resultant, where for position and magnitude of the resultant we had to calculate summation fx, fy, then magnitude of resultant, then inclination of resultant as well as quadrant. Here in parallel force system we only have to determine summation fy, and from the value of summation fy we easily get value of r, and the sign convention, that is, if the resultant is positive, then the sign convention, that is the position, that is the direction of resultant, will be upward. If the r comes out to be negative, then that is not r exactly, if summation fy comes out to be negative, then the direction of the resultant will be downward, okay. And here for direction position we are having summation fx and fy both, that is plus, minus, plus, whatever the quadrantal position of the resultant is there will be given by the signs of summation fx and fy, whereas parallel force system has a simple funda of looking at the sign of summation fy, then assigning that proper direction to the resultant, okay. Here we will be talking about the case first, that is the parallel force system. Now let's say we are given a beam, okay, let's say we are given a beam AB, then force F1 is there, F2 is there, and let's say F3 is there. Let's say the distance between point A and F1 is x1, then x2 is the distance between F2 and A, then x3 is the distance between F3 force and point A, and we are told to determine the resultant with respect to point A. Now the step 1, the very first step when you are given a parallel force system and you have to determine the resultant with respect to a specific point, the very first step that comes is step 1 becomes find summation fy. Now we are directly saying that find summation fy. Where is fx? See, since there is no horizontal force or component here, fx is always going to be 0. That's why when parallel force system is given, you don't have to worry about value of fx, because when the forces are purely vertical, there will not be any component or force that will be contributing to the value of fx. Therefore summation fy needs to be determined. Then magnitude of resultant is determined by using the conventional formula that we saw while we were calculating the properties of resultant, that is magnitude, inclination and quadrant. Here only magnitude needs to be determined. Summation fx square, the formula says r is equal to square root of sum of squares of summation of fx and fy respectively. Here fx is always going to be 0, that's why the formula is going to be r is equal to summation, r is equal to square root of summation fy square, which ultimately becomes r is equal to summation fy. Now regarding the direction of resultant, okay, in case r is xyz Newton, let's say, if the value is positive for fy, therefore resultant is in upward direction. If the value of fy is denoted negative after calculating the value for summation fy, then resultant is denoted as downward. Okay, minus means downward, plus means upward. Okay, this is over. Then step number 2, let's move to step number 2. Now step number 2 is determination of summation of moment with respect to the given point. Here in our case the given point is A. Therefore when we are calculating summation of moment of forces with respect to point A, what we have to do? We have to take each one force at a time, find its perpendicular distance with respect to the given point, with respect to the points given or stated in the statement of problem, and we have to carry out the sum total of these moments. Here 3 forces are there. Now let's see. F1 is x1 perpendicular distance away from point A, that's why write down F1 into x1. Now what will be the sign? In our case, in our problem, in our example, the force is going downward and point A is over here. This force is going to create clockwise moment, that's why the product should be assigned a plus symbol. Okay. Similarly, F2 is acting at a distance x2 from point A. It will also be generating a clockwise moment. The product should be F2 into x2 and the sign should be plus here because clockwise moment is being generated. Similarly, third force F3 into x3, okay, and the sign is going to be positive. F3 into x3, the sign should be positive. Now we will have some magnitude of this summation m in superscript. Let's write F. A is the reference point. We will be having some value plus minus whatever. The sign of moment generated may be plus. In our case specifically, we can see all the 3 moments are positive. That's why the final answer is also going to be positive. Here let's say this much xyz amount of moment is generated. Total moment is generated. Okay. Now this second important parameter is now known. Now in step 3, what we have to do? In step 3, we will be applying the Varignon theorem. Applying Varignon's theorem. VT, let's shorten it. Okay. Now see. What Varignon's theorem is? Summation of moment of forces and the reference point is A is equal to moment generated by the resultant force with respect to the same point. Okay. Now we can rewrite this statement as summation of moment of forces with respect to point A is equal to, see, moment is product of force and displacement. Here we are talking about moment generated by the resultant force. Therefore the resultant force here is R, and let's name the perpendicular distance for that resultant in order to generate that moment as X. Therefore we can calculate the value of X because see, here total moment, that is sum total of moment, is known. Value magnitude of resultant is known. The only unknown here in this equation is X, the perpendicular distance at which the resultant should act in order to generate this moment, which is equal to this one. Okay. Therefore X is equal to summation of moment of force with respect to point A divided by r. Thereby we get the value of r in meter. Sorry, the value of x in meter. Here x is the perpendicular distance. Okay. No matter what is the sign of this summation of moment, what is the sign of this r, we have to calculate the distance. The distance is a scalar quantity. Therefore, we don't have to consider any signs for them. That's why we will be having some numerical xyz quantity of this value x here. Okay. So the final thing that we have to do regarding this specific problem of Varignon theorem is that we have to redraw the diagram, the given diagram, and in this diagram we have to replace the given forces by the resultant. See, in case the resultant is, let's say, positive, okay, then we will be putting the arrow like this, okay, because the arrow is indicating a positive direction. See, there may be 4 number of cases here. Okay, see, case number 1. Okay, we are talking about sub cases. What is the probable solution or what is the final answer may be here. For example, if the resultant is positive, let's write r over here and let's write moment here. If the resultant is positive, therefore the direction of resultant will be upward, and let's say the moment is anti-clockwise, okay, like this. Therefore we should put the resultant and the diagram like this. Okay, this is the case for positive resultant, that is upward resultant, and anti-clockwise moment. In case the resultant is positive and moment is clockwise, okay, then what we will do, we will be having, let's say this is the beam AB, then we will have to put resultant over here, and this will be the perpendicular distance x. Okay, in first case this was the perpendicular distance, then this is the second case. Let's say resultant is negative and moment is anti-clockwise, then we will be having our beam AB like this. Okay, see, resultant is minus, therefore the direction of resultant is downward. Okay, downward resultant with anti-clockwise moment. Okay, where do we have to put this? See, here if we put the resultant like this, then the direction of rotation will be anti-clockwise and the resultant will be at a distance x. Okay, this is for case number 3. And what is the probable fourth case? The probable fourth case is value of resultant is negative and the moment is clockwise. Then beam AB will be like this. Then we will be putting a downward resultant, we will be showing downward resultant, and we will be putting it at a distance x. And see here, this resultant is making the beam rotate, the system rotate in a clockwise manner. Okay, and the direction of resultant is downward. Okay, these are the 4 probable cases we may come across. Okay,